Okay, I'm Candace with Beauty Counter. We are a high quality cosmetics and skincare company with our never list of 1,400 chemicals that you will never find in products. And today we're doing one of our interviews with Lindsey Perez, and she's going to be telling us a little bit about her business. The first question that we ask everybody is, Miss Lindsey, what did it look like in your life and beauty from the inside out?
Beauty from the inside out. It's a really cool question to me, because I guess if you'd asked me this 10 years ago, it would have been a different answer. And if you asked me 10 years from now, I think it would be different. But just overall, I feel like for me, confidence in being able to answer the question of who I am, what my purpose is, like in everything that I do, whether it's being a mom or a business or whatever I'm doing, if I can answer the question of what is my purpose in this, who am I, and be confident about that. Mm-hmm. It's a beauty on the outside too, that confidence. For me, it's my faith in Jesus, and that's made me solid in through, I guess, a testimony that has gone up and down. My story has not always been solid, but the Christian home that I grew up in, my parents that taught me to have faith in God and faith in Jesus, has always brought me back. And I just think that if you can have confidence in that, you don't have to worry about what's going on around you, like what comparison of other moms or other businesses. You don't worry about the things that change. You can be solid in who you are. I interview with Sarah Farmer where you talked about vulnerability, and that's, to me, if you know who you are, you can be who you are. You can be free to be who God made you to be. And you guys talked about a book, Daring Greatly, which I have read 3 times.
Yeah, that seems to be a theme. We talked about that.
I love that book. My husband and I read it once, and then I read it just 2 times again after that. Just crazy about that, passionate about that theme. I think that a lot of women just struggle with that, with being, who they are, because there's so much perfectionism and comparison. And I struggled with that. I'm part of my testimony or story, whatever you call it. And lies crept in for me. I guess threatened those questions of who are you. I went down that road of perfectionism in my job and body image and toxic relationships, and it's just that faith in the Lord that brought me back, grace that brought me back to family, and being able to be vulnerable with friends and be who I am, finally, like free in who you are.
Yeah. So along those lines, who are you? Tell us about you, your life, your family, your background.
I have 2 girls, married, and have 2 girls. They're 4 and 3, very close together, 15 months apart. So,
what are their names?
Blakely and Anston, call her Annie. And they're a handful, but they are so much fun. They're our life right now. The business that I'm doing is only because I am staying home with them now. I've been home for 4 years. I taught for 7 years in elementary school and coached basketball. And then when I had Blakely 4 years ago, I came home to stay at home with her until she was in school, and then just kind of started something on the side. So,
wow. Okay. And then the name of your company, that's what we're leading into, is
Twig and Bone is the name of the company. I started working with wood. I did a lot of woodwork for decorations for homes, like signs, the kind that would be your house rules or welcome to our family. I painted a lot of hand lettering signs. So it started with work and developed into a jewelry line, which now it's totally a jewelry line, which is where Bone, the twig and the bone, comes in. I grew up, I guess, not a country family, but we were outdoors all the time. I just grew up outside. My family owned a farm 2 hours from here, where my grandparents live.
Oh, wow.
So it was like summer long, we were there every weekend. We were there throughout the summer until adult years. We were there a lot, and I just grew up around hunters and fishermen and outside. And the family has collections of deer antlers from years and years and years past, and I found something creative to do with them. Thought it was just my quirky style that liked polishing something that's so organic and making it into jewelry, but it seems like people really are liking it. I took some orders from friends just to make things for Christmas. I was trying to save money Christmas one year and make gifts instead of having to buy them. And it just kind of grew from there. People that received the gift wanted more, and it just grew into a business.
That's so cool. See, I love that because it's a perfect example of when people are just true to themselves, go down that road that where they think quirky. It ends up being exactly what you need to do. Like, you fill a little space in the world where you're selling plexus or clothes or.
Yeah, it's really been interesting because I'm still surprised that people like these creations I make or think are very quirky and different. Another thing about my childhood, I was raised in antique markets and yard sales. My grandmother and my mom were just, anything we had was vintage or antique. We were at the salvage store all the time, just rummaging around for things that were like found items, things that had a story. And that's just my mom in me, that I love the fact that you can have a piece of jewelry, doesn't have to have a story, but I mean, I'm into that. I like it that besides the deer antlers, I do a lot of found items from antique markets that I find. I have a lot of keys, vintage keys that I bought from estate sales, and people have told me the story. So if you buy a necklace key pendant, there's a story behind it, or have a bunch of World War II compasses that are part of some jewelry that.
Wow.
Like that. That's kind of my quirk, is that if you're going to wear something, a statement piece or something small, that it's there's to it. So
I love that. I was a history teacher, and I collect a lot of vintage stuff too. So that makes me excited. I didn't realize you did that as well.
Yeah.
So cool. So do you have any like pieces there?
Right here, yes, I have.
If you'd like to show us some of your more popular pieces so people can like see an example of all of this now that we're all excited about it.
Oh yeah, honestly, the thing I sell the most is earrings, leather earrings. My mom is a seamstress, a designer, and she sews and upholstery, and so she has an abundance of like really high quality leather. So I make a lot of the earrings I'm wearing now. They're shaped like a leaf. I've got some of them are gold tipped. It's gold tipped leather or sticks. They're simple, and it kind of goes with everything from like a t-shirt to something.
Yeah.
If you get the gold tip or just the plain leather, I sell the most of those because of the price point is lower. And they just go with everything. They're lightweight. But like this is the key necklace. Am I holding? Yeah, there you go. So this is from a sale. Like I bought 10 keys from this guy, and they were just he collected, and they're hotel keys from like the 1940s, he thinks. So it's just cool. Like a lot of things, like this is fully beaded. There's stone or bone beads. Everything is either agate stone or bone bead. And then a lot of things are just have a lot of chain on them, like this one. Some people don't like the fully beaded, like heavier looking jewelry, but this one is like half chain, and then it goes into a tassel is something else that my mom makes for me as part of the business, because she has the leather, so she's learned how to make these tassels for earrings or necklaces. So anyway, everything has that story. This is kind of the classic that most people love. It's a deer antler.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. On I use, like I said, the stone and bone beads, but also African trade beads. You can I've met 2 people online through doing this, that one in Ghana and another in Kenya, that the tradeswomen in villages, they spin these recycled glass into balls. It's not perfect looking at all. If you saw them up close, they're very odd shaped, but it's cool because they're made overseas.
Character.
Yeah, and it's, yeah.
So tell us that story. How did you meet people from Africa for this? Like, I would love to, I'm sure that's a fascinating story.
Yeah. Well, I have friends. We have some of our very close friends are from Kenya, and we have coffee table books from there. And I've always kind of studied the landscape and from there because we have such good friends that live there as missionaries. And I've loved their jewelry and their style. And so I kind of went searching for that and found a lady online that has a little store in the middle of nowhere. And she's one of the few that actually ships out. Most of them are only sold in like markets there, but she ships out to other places or takes orders, and she'll ship these beads. It's just really cool. They're unique. They are colored in different colors, and
That's so cool.
yeah, really cool.
Wow, I can't wait to see this. And we'll talk about how we can find you more at the end. I'll put information in the description below.
Okay.
And I'm sorry if the sound is funny, guys. I'll try not to talk so much since I think it's on my end. So tell us about two more things: what it's like being a mom and trying to run a business and balance all that, and then kind of what you've learned through that. And then I'll stop talking since my sound is funny.
Okay. Running the business is really just during nap time right now.
No shame in that.
Yeah, I mean, I create on the kitchen table, and I have about 2.5 hours a day where I work to create stuff. But it's a long process because you start with things that are, old and either rusty, or you've got deer antlers that need to be sanded and washed and cut and drilled, and it's a long process to get to a necklace. So a lot of stuff I can do outside, with them if there's a sanding, drilling type process going on, or painting. But it's really just a nap time thing. And then on the weekends, I've done art shows that Saturday mornings. But we juggle it. It's growing, so we're learning how to juggle the business side of it right now.
It's a good problem.
Yeah, very much. I've learned that I love the creative side of that part of what God gave me. I guess I love to be a school teacher, and you incorporate that a lot, and especially if it's elementary school. But I never realized how much I enjoy the creating and designing, side of life. So it brought that out to me.
That's probably therapeutic on some level, right?
It is, because you
totally mommy time with a little creative outlet.
Yes, absolutely. I zone out completely. I mean, it's music, a podcast, something's going on. That 2 hours, I really can restart because my mind is completely on something else. So
that's really cool.
It's good for me.
Okay, I won't talk too much because my sound is bad, but I'm really excited about this. Actually, I'm learning. I knew you did jewelry, but I didn't realize all the bones and vintage and antique stuff you threw in there and the stories. That's so cool. So I'm trying not to talk too much. Give us the websites and how we can find you. And then if you want to tell about the event coming up this weekend.
I'm on Facebook at Twig and Bone, Instagram at Twig and Bone, and I have an Etsy shop at Twig Bone. There's no and. It's just a Twig Bone. And the Etsy shop is small right now because I'm selling things in shows. But when I don't have things in shows, I'll put them up on the Etsy shop. And the event this Sunday at the venue on Main in Kennesaw. Just really looking forward to it. It's going to be great. I'm very passionate about the charity that we're raising money for, the Prom Red and the End It Movement. Our church is the church that began that movement for human trafficking and slavery.
Oh, wow.
So we are just really passionate about that charity. So I'm excited to be part of that.
Yeah. If you're listening to this, it's the beginning of March now, and that event is coming up at the end on March the 5th. So depending on when you hear this, hear this video. Sorry, we've got family going on in the background. All right, well, thank you so much for the time and telling us about your business. I won't talk much more again because my sound is bad, but I'll put all of your contact information in the video description here on YouTube, and we look forward to seeing you this weekend, and everybody check out her stuff. It looks really cool.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.